Hello and welcome. Here I review movies, and today's film is The Last Stop in Yuma County. In this thriller, a group of strangers find themselves stuck waiting for a gas truck to come and refuel the only station for miles. When two of the men get outed as bank robbers, it turns into a deadly hostage situation. Francis Galuppi wrote the story and directed the film, which stars Jim Cummings, Jocelyn Donahue, Richard Brake, and Faison Love. To start off, the story is full of mystery and highly exciting. From start to finish, you're never quite sure where it's going, but you always know something big is just about to happen. The film sets up and builds tension quickly. Then it starts piling new pieces on top, and the powder keg only becomes bigger and more volatile. The climax then perfectly ignites the situation and keeps going until there's nothing but ash left. In the end, you're left fully satisfied and listening to a lovely song that carries you into the credits. The cast does a solid job with their roles, too. Everyone but the bank robbers are playing normal folk caught up in a bad situation. They react well, do some solid emotional work, and get through their lines smoothly. The big standouts are the bank robber played by Richard Brake and the knife salesman played by Jim Cummings. These two get the most screen time, and each of them ends up being memorable in their own way. Richard Brake's beau is a hardened criminal looking after his baby brother. He's quick to violence and doesn't miss a thing when it comes to his surroundings. Brake gets to make a couple of big threatening speeches and does them incredibly well. He almost looks like a mad dog barking when he does it. He plays the villain menacingly and puts out a threatening aura that's oppressive the entire time he's around. Jim Cummings plays a cowardly knife salesman, just an innocent guy who gets caught up in a bad situation. He's constantly shaking and stuttering and looks generally afraid. Often he ends up being unintentionally funny with how scared he is. Then his character takes a big turn during the climax, and Cummings plays it beautifully. His character is hilarious and tragic at the same time. Cummings plays it with a lot of heart, and it's easy to get swept up in his character's journey. The visual journey takes place in a single location over the course of an hour or two, and doesn't have much in the way of spectacles. What it does have is a lot of tense moments that are amplified by really great camera work and cinematography. It also tells the story clearly, manages to get a few nice shots of the California desert in there, and they always capture the characters and their emotions well. For the soundtrack, they used a lot of basic instrumentals and a few original songs. They used simple instrumentals for tense moments and used them to great effect. They never interfere with the dialogue, but always emphasize the greatest lines like the perfect hype man and add a ton of tension into the environment. The original tracks come in the form of soft rock and crooner songs, and they're used to add a bit of flavor to the background and to emphasize a character trait. They do wonderfully, and add a sort of melancholic feel to the film. On the negative side of things, the film is definitely limited by its budget. For example, the visual journey takes place in a single location and it's just a basic diner. It's not fancy looking in any way, the characters are all wearing normal clothing, and even the action is quick and cheap looking. There's just nothing really stand out about it. The same is true of the music. The songs they're using are old tracks that sound nice, but they only had 3 of them. They clearly knew how to use music and how to pick it, so it feels a little shallow, and most of what they had was the most basic of tension tracks. The film also isn't trying anything all that new. From the camera work to the characters, even the story has been done before. They just do a good job of making it feel like their own. I imagine if they'd had a bigger budget, they'd have done something quite flavorful with this film. Personally, I enjoyed The Last Stop in Yuma County quite a bit. I found it to be a simple thriller that works on a lot of levels. The villains did a great job of acting erratic and menacing, the situation makes for incredibly tense moments, and the climax was a ton of fun. If you like to watch a tense situation play out and you aren't looking for anything all that deep, give this a try. It might surprise you with how entertaining it is. As for a rating, I'd give this film a 7 out of 10. Remember, these are just my thoughts on the film. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Bye-bye.